Honorable committee members, Amnesty International deeply appreciates the initiative to develop a general recommendation on gender stereotypes and recognizes the committee's vital role in challenging harmful gender stereotypes that continue to obstruct equality for so many. To begin with, Amnesty International believes that a holistic approach to gender stereotyping is essential, one that goes beyond the binary framework of man, woman, male, female, recognizing the full spectrum of gender identities, including transgender, gender diverse, and intersex people, is crucial for fostering an inclusive and transformative understanding of gender. While we commend the committee's work on intersectionality thus far, in the realm of multiple threats to human rights and attempts to undermine established international human rights standards and principles, Amnesty International urges the committee to set out clearly the principle of intersectionality in General Recommendation number 41 in the strongest possible terms, acknowledging how race, ethnicity, disability, migration status, and other factors intersect with gender. This is key to understanding the compounded discrimination faced by marginalized people. This is important because while we know all too well that gender stereotypes are a persistent barrier to economic equality, particularly for women and gender diverse people, that these stereotypes confine people to traditional roles, shaping perceptions of appropriate work based on gender, and that these biases often place women in lower paid precarious jobs while limiting access to more secure, high status employment, restricting upward mobility and economic independence. For women garment workers in South Asia, these stereotypes do not exist in a vacuum. Their vulnerability is magnified by racial and ethnic biases, colonial legacies, and a global capitalist system that devalues their labor. The global economy, which is built on the undervaluation of their work, adds to their challenges. So it is not just their gender, it is the perception that their labor is disposable, their dignity negotiable, and their rights secondary to profit that puts them in the specific situation that they are in. The same systemic forces affect access to healthcare, because while women, gender diverse people face significant barriers to healthcare, trans people often encounter additional obstacles shaped by cisnormative assumptions. In many countries across the globe, many trans people are denied sometimes life-saving gender-affirming healthcare, and in some countries are required to undergo psychiatric diagnosis, hormone treatment, or sterilization in order to obtain legal gender recognition, violating their rights to autonomy and privacy. Finally, in the area of participation, stereotypes have long relegated women to the private sphere. But in Afghanistan, these stereotypes intersect with state policies to create a profound erasure of women from public life. This erasure extends beyond exclusion from education and employment. It is a systematic removal from spaces where women can exercise any sort of visibility, autonomy, or influence. These are just three examples that remind us that while oppression caused by stereotypes is not a hierarchy, it is a web of interlocking barriers that demand a nuanced and inclusive response. We urge that such complexities be fully addressed in General Recommendation number 41. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today.